Welcome back, everyone, to Sean's wonderful show. I'm here with George.
Hello.
The best producer in the entire multiverse. We are here. I hope you had a great... I took a week off. Because I am a human being and I have rights. One of my rights is to spend a week off from the show. But I hope that you survived a week without my wonderful... chill, smooth voice. I'm the chillest. My first career choice, actually, you guys, just a little backstory on me. I actually wanted to be a jazz radio DJ. And they said that my voice wasn't chill and smooth enough. And then I just talked about the Federal Reserve. Now that will be my jazz radio show. I'll be like, our next cut is off Coltrane's classic. Did you know the Federal Reserve prints money every year and destroys the value of the dollar? Hit it, John. So I'm very glad to be back. I was in. We'll get to the news. We have a great show. Before we move on, review the show on whatever. I'm not at this point. If you haven't helped me, you're not gonna help me. So I'm on my knees begging you to review the show, all that shit. So we have a great show, guys. We have so much news. We have Burning Man. We have some updates on ChatGPT and how it's being used in ways that may not be good. And I know I'm not talking about Palantir this time. Surprisingly, I'm talking about good old-fashioned ChatGPT. We've got a shake-up at Nestle. The CEO is out. There's a new CEO. We have a lot to go through. So please stay with us. So before we get into the news, though, I did go to San Francisco this past weekend for a comedy competition that was very fun. I did not move forward because, for many reasons. I don't, if for long-time listeners of Sean's show, if you listen to the podcast that I used to do, there was this inside joke where we I would have a lot of disdain for road stories because most comedy podcasts, if you don't know, are comedians going, "Yo, I was on the road in Oklahoma City," and then all the other comics are like, "Oh yeah." But this is a road story, so you can skip ahead 5 minutes if you don't want to listen to the road story. But I think you should stick around because I was in San Francisco, and San Francisco is not as bad as the media is making it out to be. I went to San Francisco. There's Waymos. There's self-driving cars. There's ice cream. Birds. It's. I saw a few crackheads. Yeah, I did. I saw a few crackheads. But But the way that the media is portraying San Francisco and the Bay Area, well, it really is just San Francisco, is as this Somalian wasteland. And I don't even want to discredit Somalia. Maybe Somalia is, now that I've been in San Francisco and I realize that everyone is lying about how bad it is there, I'm thinking maybe everywhere is actually good. maybe Somalia. I'm going to go to Somalia because if they lie and all they do is lie, if they lied about San Francisco being this shithole, maybe I should go to these other places that the media constantly disparages. But so basically what happened, I did these shows and I did not move forward in the competition because a lot of the shows were for rich white liberals, which you'd think, Sean, don't you kill with those? Isn't that your demo? It's actually not. And I'll tell you why. They were very stuffy. Okay. One of the shows we did was at a venue called The Battery. And if you don't know, I want you to look it up. The Battery, SF. And they do comedy shows, but you walk in, I walk into this place and it's actually a social club that I believe is at least $10,000 a year to be a part of. And we're doing, I did comedy at in an Eyes Wide Shut style venue. I walked in and I saw Elon Musk getting his dick sucked by a giraffe. Okay? That's what this place was. And it was a private show and they made us like, it felt very wrong. It felt wrong. It was only available to the people that are members of this social club. I mean, it was like a country club for the tech elite. And you'd think I'd fit right in there, but I actually, I was not having a good time, you guys. And it came across on stage. And what really, here's the core of what I'm trying to get to is all of these, the real issue with San Francisco, it's not with all of these fictional armies of crackheads that are running down the street. The real deterioration in San Francisco is the ethics. It's the moral ethics of the people that are rich in San Francisco. And it's and again, you're thinking, oh, well, you think I'm dunking, if you think I'm dunking on liberals right now, you're wrong. This is not liberalism anymore. This exists in San Francisco, and it also exists in places like Austin, Texas, which are politically on the right. In both of these places, I've been in these rooms where it's being in the room with these people and having to perform comedy for these people, it reaffirmed everything that I knew to be true about rich tech elites, is that they are stuffy and they have zero self-awareness. They're stuffy, they have zero self-awareness, and they don't like and there's just they weren't. I bombed because I was making fun of them maybe, and they didn't like that, and I was doing jokes about like how I won't do the joke, but basically about how I'd rather make bombs than live in Florida. Like that's a joke I have, and whatever. And they all groan, and I'm like, you guys are shareholders in Raytheon and Palantir. How are you going to groan at the company that you co-founded? You know what I mean? And but so they didn't want to hear it. And that's why I didn't move on. So I flew out there, I did this competition, and that was happening to me throughout the weekend. And then the culmination of this was the final show was actually in a restaurant in Santa Cruz called the Crow's Nest. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a place where all the divorced dads go when they get back from Thailand to go and drink away their suffering and their depression. And I'm doing this show. It's a competition, right? So it's a bunch of comedians. I'm stressed out. I'm feeling anxious. It's like a final exam. You know what I mean? If you've been to college, if you've been to school, it's like a test. And so I go up there. The first minute, I'm killing it. I roast them. I'm like, this feels like where all the divorced dads go when they get back from Thailand. They love that. And then I start bombing. And then this woman heckles me from the back of the room. And I don't even know what she said. And then I go, what'd you say, bitch? And it was like the craziest moment of my life because I never say stuff like that I'm good with hecklers. I usually just ignore hecklers. But it was just a weekend of performing for the worst human beings on the fucking planet. And then to be disrespected on top of that. And I'm not getting paid for any of these fucking shows. I'm like a dancing monkey for these people that think that they're so... And then I'm the bad guy. Because I said, what'd you say, bitch? Then I called my girlfriend and I told her, and I was like, I'm not a misogynist. And she's like, I don't know what you want me to say. She's like, what do you want me to say to that? And I'm sorry. I had to tell you that, okay, I have to give you a little bit of behind the scenes, what's going on in my life. But, all of these, like I said, San Francisco is portrayed as this shithole. It's not a shithole. It's very clean. You want to know why San Francisco is not a shithole? Because no one can live there. San Francisco has gotten so expensive that they've actually priced out the poor homeless. Now it's only the rich homeless. There's like a whole, you guys don't get it. You guys don't get how expensive the Bay Area has gotten. It's like there's a whole sub-layer of gentrification happening within the homeless class. Most people think class is just like you got your poor, your middle class, and your rich. That's not how it works in the Bay. In San Francisco, you know, there's layers of homeless classism where you got some homeless guys, they've got like a couple grocery carts and a bunch of cans. That's like the Jeff Bezos homeless NIMBYs. The San Francisco, this is what's sad about it, is like, but the streets are clean because there's no homeless people there. But like they've been, the poor homeless have been priced out by the rich homeless that have like, you know, 2 grocery carts. And they're like, you know, like they're like NIMBYs. Because in San Francisco, it's so expensive that like homeless people go to city council and voice their issues about like new homeless displacing them. Okay? They're like, I've been homeless here for 15 years, you know, and they don't want to build new housing. So, but I love that. Look, I'm biased because I'm from the Bay Area. I'm biased, but I love that. I love that city. I love San Francisco. Okay? It's because I love it. I love it as an exploration of San Francisco is a hollowing out of our culture and our democracy and our values, you know. And I'm not saying that from a political. It used to be cool. It used to be cool. It used to be, it used to be acid. You go to Haight Street. You go to Haight Ashbury. And you take acid and you get chlamydia. That's the fucking city that we all loved. Now you go to San Francisco and you go to Haight Ashbury and you get date raped by a Palantir engineer. That's what's happened. Okay. So there are, but again, this idea that it's like unsafe is just so wrong. And if you disagree with me, I implore you to just like leave your house and go to these different places. And I promise you, it's the same people that think San Francisco is like a third world shithole are the same people that won't go into the subway in Manhattan, and they think that the subway is like you can get shanked. You know, it's like this like seedy. You know, it's not. The subway is a party. It's a fucking party. People are playing jazz. You know, they're filming content. People are skateboarding. It's a cool place. So one place that is, and I stand by this, one place that is an utter fucking shithole and should not exist, okay? And it's the only genocide that I support, and it's the genocide of Burning Man. Genocide, Burning Man. We need to round. I will, because I'm caffeinated, so you got to stay with me because I quit coffee and I was tired before this because I've been traveling. So I'm caffeinated, so you're gonna have to. Nothing I say, you got to give me like a pass. Like I'm gonna go a little crazy on this one. I would be Hitler for Burning Man. I would be the Burning Man for I would be the guy. I will, if I was president of America, I would start a genocide and I would gas. How about here's what we do. How about Burning Man 2026? It's the big line of cars, the 8-hour line of cars. That goes to a gas chamber. How about you go in there with your RV and then I'm there with a clipboard, and I'm like, yeah. Just, oh, by the way, we have to connect this thing to your exhaust pipe. It's just like a sanitation thing. Cause it's actually eco-friendly. It's like an eco-friendly kind of, and all the Burning Man people are like, oh yeah, for sure. Like I love the environment. And then we hook up some Zyklon motherfucking B. Okay. Don't ask me why I know what that is, but it was the gas that was used in the Holocaust. So no, we're not. But the Burning Man is over. Burning Man, I believe, is over. I think it wrapped. They burned the man, as they say. It wrapped up. And now I like a lot of people. They it's very popular right now to shit on Burning Man, as I just did. I'm actually going to defend Burning Man. Burning Man is about cycles. Okay? Stay with me on this. Burning Man is about humanity. Burning Man is about going to a place. Burning Man is about going to a space and a time where money isn't real. It's about going to a environment where you can meet people and connect. Notice how I haven't said anything specific yet. It's about going to a desert and being brutally murdered. It's about taking acid and being murdered by an unknown man, and it's about being stabbed to death on acid. Burning Man is about reconnecting with your humanity by tripping on acid and watching as someone stabs you in the heart repeatedly with a knife and dying and bleeding and being left in a pool of blood. That is what Burning Man is. Burning Man used to be a place where, hey, you know what it used to be? It used to be a place where our old friends from San Francisco used to make the voyage out there to get high and talk about anarchism, and truly radical ideas. They used to do ketamine, and they used to, Burning Man was not about art cars. I don't want to hear about your art car. Can I say this? So I don't want to hear, if you make an art car, you deserve to die. Honestly, free the Burning Man killer. I don't know who murdered this guy at Burning Man, but look, let me back up here. When I learned about the man that was killed at Burning Man, the first thing I said, he must have deserved it. What was he wearing? What was he saying? What did he do to deserve to be murdered? Because if you're at Burning Man, you're already not on my nice list. You're on my naughty list, okay? So this is a photo of the man. This is not the guy that was murdered. That would be hilarious. What if it's Jeffrey Epstein? Can we scroll up to see the headline real quick? So, man found dead at Burning Man, prompting homicide investigation. Huh? The victim, whose identity was unknown, was found, quote, lying in a pool of blood on Saturday night, officials said. Also, by the way, the officials at Burning Man is a woman named Alley Cat. Which we'll get to, by the way. Oh, also, so there was a death, a birth, and rape. I mean, this was it's a crazy thing to do. It's not smart. And I mean, I could spend 5 hours talking about this, you guys. But so this guy was killed at Burning Man, and there's an investigation going on. I honestly think that this could make a great murder mystery movie. Because that's where my mind goes. I'm a creative. I'm an artist. So my mind was it was this murder. You can call it murder at Burning Man. Murder at the Burn. Come on, murder at the Burn. Can we get Netflix on the horn? Let's get Netflix on the horn, because I would call them and I'd be like, look, it's called Murder at the Burn, and it's like a Clue sequel where it's how did the man die? Oh, it was Alley Cat in the it's like this man was killed. How did he die? And at the end, we find out that it was actually Alley Cat in the orgy dome with her dream catcher. And she actually used the dream catcher to strangle him to death in the orgy dome, which was actually he consented to. If Burning Man really is this radical place where anything goes and money doesn't exist, we don't know that this guy didn't consent. What if he consented to being murdered? We don't know that. We don't know. Maybe he consented to being stabbed in the throat, and maybe that's what he wanted. That's how and again, I'm crazy too, but I'm crazy in a different way. I don't, I don't think that you can, the way to achieve, like, people, the proponents of Burning Man, they believe that, like, this festival, or whatever you want to call it, I call it a mental hospital, but the festival of Burning Man, proponents of it really think that, like, this is going to be evidence that we can live in, like, an anarchist society. And I don't mean to sound like a Republican right now, but we need laws. You know what I mean? If you go to Burning Man and say, "Hey, I think we need laws," they'll kill you. They'll throw you into the fire. If you go, "Hey, I think," no, and that's the ultimate irony of Burning Man, is that it's a bunch of people in the desert that are all Silicon Valley tech bro billionaires. Jeff Bezos went to Burning Man a couple of years ago. Mark Zuckerberg's been to Burning Man. Is that really what you want to associate with? Do you really want to? It's not. If Mark Zuckerberg does it, it's not cool. If Jeff Bezos does it, if Jeff Bezos goes to Burning Man with security guards, you've lost the fucking plot. It's not a cause. It's not a thing. It's been bought and sold and paid for. Okay, so don't give me this shit about Burning Man being this prototype for a cashless society where we all help each other, because you know how much it costs to get into Burning Man? I don't know, $500? I think that's the minimum. And then you have to bring thousands of dollars of shit in an RV. It's actually Burning Man is the most capitalist thing I could imagine. It's a bunch of rich people pretending that they live in this cashless society where everyone contributes and they all work together to get the playa moving. We're going to keep the playa moving. We work together, we can keep the playa moving. Thanks, Alley Cat. Hey, Alley Cat, you know what? People think Burning Man is like, I'll give you some food if you give me some water. That's not what it is. Burning Man is, hey, Alley Cat, I'll give you some ketamine if you suck my dick. That is Burning Man, okay? It's a fucking frat. It's a frat. Burning Man is a frat for tech bros, okay? That's what it is. It's a frat for people that are somehow rediscovering their purpose in the world while also trying to raise $10 billion for their B2B SaaS AI startup, okay? You can't go to Burning Man and raise $10 million for your B2B AI SaaS company and also pretend that you're discovering your higher self. You're either in the system or you're not. Let's read more about this guy that was killed, though. Maybe he was raising money for his startup. Maybe this was a deal gone. We don't know. This might have been two hedge fund executives, a deal gone wrong. We don't know. A man was found dead lying in a pool of blood. I mean, this is crazy. Imagine a man was found dead lying in a pool of blood at the popular Burning Man Arts and Music Festival Saturday night, prompting a homicide investigation by the local and federal officials in Nevada. On Monday, the sheriff's office asked the public to help in identifying the man, who was between the ages of 35 to 40, stood 6 feet tall, weighed about 200 pounds, and had short brown hair and facial hair. Guys, who else do we know that is between the ages of 35 and 40? Well, I'm 29. Weighs 200 pounds, 6 feet tall, short brown hair, facial hair. I fit a lot of those descriptions. So I'm just saying, don't call the Nevada police. Don't rat me out. Don't call the Nevada PD and say, I think I know who the killer is. His name is Sean Riley. He admitted it on his podcast. I'll admit it. I did it. It wasn't Alley Cat in the orgy dome with a dream catcher. It was Sean Riley with a ballpoint pen in the orgy dome. We were also in the orgy dome. So the so let's keep going down here. The body was reported as the quote man. So the man was being burned, and then this guy was murdered as the man was being burned. The man being the statue, the man that they burned. Several participants in the immediate area were interviewed, the sheriff said. The process is still ongoing, and the portion of the, quote, city where this occurred will have heavy law enforcement presence until the scene can be released. So I love that they call it a city. It's not a city. A city is a place that exists for more than a week, okay? It's not a city. It's not a city. Don't call it a city, okay? Cities have neighborhoods and culture and history, okay? This is a plot of land in the middle of nowhere that's already heavily polluted from years past. Okay? You want to know how many microplastics you're inhaling from the burning man? When the man burns, you're pretty much inhaling like dried jizz from years past. Okay? From burning man's past. So there was a murder. There was also, on the bright side, the opposite of a murder. Again, Burning Man is about cycles, ladies and gentlemen. Burning Man is a cycle. It's representative of the power of humanity to come together and viciously murder someone, and also be unaware that you were pregnant somehow. This woman came. Strangers come together to deliver baby girl at Burning Man. Lord in heaven, help this woman, help this little girl. A little girl, imagine being born at Burning Man. I mean, I'm calling CPS. Do you understand me? If you give birth at Burning Man, I'm calling CPS on you, and I'm saying that you are guilty of infant endangerment. I'm also calling the IRS. I'm calling ICE, and I hate to say it. If you give birth at Burning Man, okay, and you didn't know you were, I don't know how and we're gonna get into this story. This woman gives birth, and like all these people come together to like help her through the labor. And here's what the story leaves out: is that this bitch was probably on fucking acid. Could you imagine you're on acid at Burning Man with your husband, and then you start to go into labor? So the fucking like interdimensional space demons are like talking to you while another human being is coming out of you. Lord God. I mean, I would love to give birth on acid. That would be insane. It would be insane to be coming up on acid, and then your husband's like, I can't fucking afford this shit. And then his voice would echo. You'd be like, baby, like, I think I'm giving birth. And he's like, we can't have a fucking kid right now. No. His face is changing and shit. I can't. I just got laid off. Off. Baby. Oh, do we have reverb on that?
Oh, we should.
We have the demon. Oh, let's do the demon. Is there like a demon voice?
Yeah. All right, I'm ready.
Okay, so this woman. Okay, I'll do the woman first. Baby, I think I'm giving birth. Help me.
I just got laid off from Salesforce, you bitch!
That would be what it's like. Wow, that was good. By the way, that's not what acid is like. As a psychonaut, and you know what? If you don't think I have the credibility to speak to this, I am an ex-psychonaut. I've had ego death. Don't think I don't know about this shit. I've listened to fucking Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, and I even know some of the deeper cuts. Check out Stoned Jesus. They're a great drone metal band. Don't think I don't fucking know. I know my shit. So let's read more about this woman. So this woman gave birth. Let's take a look. And the New York Times frames this as like a heartfelt. It's crazy that the New York Times is framing this as like a come together, humans are good story. This is a child endangerment. This is a story about a child who was endangered. Okay? Imagine being born and you were immediately endangered. Because that's what the story really is. But here's how they frame it. Kayla Thompson and her husband, Casey Thompson, were asleep in their RV camper at their first Burning Man festival Wednesday morning. So it's their first Burning Man, and you don't think that they're high? They are high, first of all. And she awoke in pain. She thought it might be something she ate, or worse, her appendix, okay? The rain had stopped, but the desert playa that stretched infinitely around their camper was mucky and filled with puddles from a storm that had pummeled the Southwest. Okay. Miss Thompson's cramping was unrelenting. The couple knew that they needed medical help, but they did not anticipate what would happen next. Minutes later, Miss Thompson was giving birth to their first child, a 3-pound, 9-ounce baby girl in the bathroom of their camper. Holy fuck. If I could have it my way and I was this little girl that was born in this bathroom of an RV at Burning Man, just put me back in the womb. I'm not coming out. You know, I feel so bad for this little girl because when she's older and she reads this New York Times story and she looks up and she's in jail, you're gonna know what. You think, hey, and mark my words, prove me wrong. You know, actually, I was about to say being born in an RV camper at Burning Man means that your future prospects are probably not that bright. Now, maybe back in the day. Now, being born in an RV at Burning Man is like being born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Because your parents could afford to go to Burning Man and bought the RV or rented the RV. So being born at Burning Man is almost like being born in Beverly Hills. Like this is actually great news for her. So she goes, so the husband goes, I was yelling for anyone to come help us. Oh no, that's Mr. Thompson. Anyway, so here we go. Let's keep going down. This is it's a very scary situation. The Thompsons, who are from Salt Lake City. Oh. Ding, 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 ding. Did you guys put that together too? Salt Lake City is known for what? Mormons. I bet you they were having, this could be wrong, but I'm going to just speculate. I bet you that these were two, I don't know. Mormons don't go to Burning Man. Or maybe they do. See, the crazy thing about Burning Man is that, like, I could see very conservative, biblical, Bible-thumping people going to Burning Man to spread the word of God. Because, like, Black Rock City, the playa, is like, you know, that's Sodom and Gomorrah to these people. You understand? So, like, I could see Mormons going to Burning Man and knocking on some RV doors. Imagine being at Burning Man and you're in your RV and you hear a knock at you're a rasping knock at your door, and it's Mormons and they're like, "Have you heard the good word, sir? Would you like some ketamine? We'll give you a free Bible. We'll give you a free book of Job. We'll give you a free book of Mormon if you take some ketamine with us. Would you like to do ketamine and discuss the word of God?" So that's a photo, I guess. Someone's setting up. I mean, it just doesn't look fun. It does not look fun. It looks like shit. Do not tell me that looks fun. Okay? It's just like, you know what? This is just like Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas is sandy. It's hot. Everyone there is a fucking miserable loser. Burning Man is Austin, Texas with more sand. It's like if there was a dust storm that came to Austin, Texas, that's what Burning Man would be. It's a bunch of fake liberal white women doing yoga and you know, they pay no taxes. Everyone at Burning Man has like a 0% effective tax rate, okay? I guarantee it. I'm going to guarantee that. So let's keep going down here. I want to see how this ends. So I guess Maureen O'Reilly, not my mom, maybe related to me. Maureen O'Reilly, a 61-year-old nurse from the Bay Area. I promise this is not my mom. With experience in neonatal care, was sitting at her camp next door when she heard about the baby. She immediately taped garbage bags around her shoes to trudge across the mud to the Thompsons' RV. Now, this is basically the most beautiful birth. This is like the birth of baby Jesus. This may be, you know what? This may be the return of Satan. This might be, Peter, which we'll talk about later. Peter Thiel is actually doing a series on the Antichrist. Okay, hear me out. I don't know if the timeline works, but what if that the guy was murdered at Burning Man? What if this baby was that guy being reincarnated? Okay, and the Antichrist is back. Where do you expect the Antichrist to be born? Probably a place like Burning Man. Okay. I bet you this little girl came out and was like, "Hail Satan." So Burning Man has been a blast. It's been a blast for everyone involved. And the last thing on this is, so this baby got delivered, and you'd think that after an event like this, you would just go home, try to help the kid, maybe get your life stabilized, right? And they had to take the baby out in a helicopter. So you want to go to Burning Man? Let me tell you something. You want to go to a place where if a medical emergency happens to you, you have to get evac'd on a helicopter to the Reno hospital. You know what if you have a medical emergency at Burning Man, you know what they're going to do when they helicopter you to the Reno hospital? They're going to shoot you in the back of the head. That's what the Reno hospital is. The Reno, Nevada hospital is they just put a bullet in your head. That's what the healthcare level is in Reno. Okay, have you been to Reno? You're gonna go, if you go to the Reno hospital with a headache, they just shoot you. They just shoot you in the head. You think they can do neonatal care for an infant? It's crazy. But what did this couple do? Which, by the way, CPS is on the way. I've called them. They decided after this whole incident that they want to reach out to the public, and they are actually, drumroll please, raising money from the public. This is a real fundraiser. This is not a joke. Listen to this. There's a GoFundMe. So here's a photo from the RV so they taped "It's a Girl" on the outside of the ketamine rape van. So there's this van in Burning Man where the Antichrist was born. And it should say the Antichrist is back. It should not say "It's a girl" in blue tape. It should say in blood, "He is cometh," or "She is risen." It should say "She is risen." Here, and that's what I want. Like Burning Man, and that's the thing. Burning Man used to be punk rock. Like 60 years ago, if you gave birth at Burning Man, it would be written in fucking blood, and it would say, "She is risen, hail Satan." That's what Burning Man's about. Now it's like, I don't know where this couple works. We're not going to dox them. I don't want to look into their backgrounds, but I guarantee, look at this RV. And this is the stupidity of the public. I'm sorry. But the stupidity of the public is they see a GoFundMe campaign and the photo is of $100,000 RV. And again, maybe it was rented, okay? But even renting that's got to be a little bit of money, okay? They got some money if they're renting an RV and they're going to Burning Man for a week. They see that and they think, oh, instead of giving my $10 to a single mom in the Bronx or Compton and help get a meal for her, I'm going to help this stupid fucking couple I'm going to give this dumb couple money because the woman gave birth at a music festival, and I think that's so cute. So they started a GoFundMe. GoFundMe. Here's the title of their fundraiser. Help support Burning Man Baby Girl 2025. No. You know what? No. Help support Burning Man Baby Girl 2025. You know what? I'm actually not going to do. I'm actually not going. This is like Shark Tank. I'm out. You know, if this was a Shark Tank pitch, hey, hi Sharks. I didn't know that I was pregnant. And I was at a music festival doing 25I. It's a research chemical that makes you hallucinate violently. And while I'm hallucinating violently on 25I, I actually realized that I was in the middle of labor. And I actually gave birth to a little girl. So Sharks, what I'm asking from you, I do the steeplechase. So Sharks, what I'm asking for you is $15,000 to cover my medical expenses. And I would just be sitting there like stroking my beard like, you're a bad mom. And for those reasons, I'm out. You're a bad mom. Number one, you're a bad mom. Number two, I'm not a woman, so look, I know that some women don't know that they're pregnant. But, and again, I'm going out on a limb here. I don't know, and maybe it's because I'm a man. This might, I don't know if women listen to this show, probably because I say shit like this. But truly, I'm going to call this into question. I don't know how you can be, she was 9, it was a full-term birth. I'm not an idiot, guys. This was not like a miscarriage or an early birth. This woman was 9 months pregnant. And she didn't know. So, I'm not saying that like, that's impossible, but 9 months? I don't know. I don't know if that works. How do you not know that you're pregnant after 9 months? And I'm gonna go here. Look, I'm not an expert on female anatomy, but I know of a certain thing that happens every now and then that tends to stop when you become pregnant. So if that thing hasn't happened in 9 months, so you haven't had a period in 9 months, and then you go to Burning Man, and and then you do ketamine, and you don't even think, maybe this baby might have fetal alcohol syndrome. That's my concern, is if you don't know you're pregnant, you could be drinking the entire pregnancy. I sound like a concerned Republican father. You could be drinking. But, so they want to raise money, and they're almost hitting their fundraising goal. Could you scroll down a little bit? They've raised $15,000 for this baby. Who cares? Who fucking cares? Who cares about this baby? I mean, I do. Obviously, I'm yelling about it. But who gives a shit? I mean, this and that, to wrap this story, the Burning Man is the epitome, it's the apex of American late-stage capitalism, because you have people being murdered and being left in pools of blood, and then you have people giving birth and then monetizing their birth. Hey, wait, hold on a second. And let me tie it all together here. Hold on a second. You gave birth at Burning Man, okay? And then you start, but where money isn't real. But then you started to GoFundMe, and you raise money. I thought money wasn't real. Oh, money's only not real on the playa. I forgot. I forgot that money's only not real in the city where everyone brings $100,000 RVs and camping equipment to survive for a, how about this? I will allow Burning Man to continue if everyone that goes to Burning Man has to be locked in there for a year. And I want it live streamed. I want, if you want to go to Burning Man next year, on day 7 after the man burns, okay, another movie idea, sequel, okay? We call it We call it After the Man. And it's the 51 weeks. Okay, maybe here's the plot. I'm like a psychotic billionaire. I buy Burning Man. I control it. We have a great time. The man burns. Everyone's packing up their RVs and they're getting ready to leave the playa. Shut the fuck up. Who was at the playa? Hey man, how was your weekend? Oh, I was on the playa. Shut the fuck up. Man, the playas are so great, man. I did yoga. I'm actually a libertarian. I did yoga on the playa, but I don't think the FDA should exist. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. Here's the movie. It's called After the Man, and it's Burning Man 2026. And the beginning of the movie is all these people that go to Burning Man. They have a great time. They're partying. They're doing acid. They're like connecting with God, and the man burns. And then the day 7 ends. Everyone packs up their RVs, and then they get to the exit. And I'm standing there, and I've got a goatee because every villain has a goatee. I'll shave and do a goatee. And I'm standing there with like 100,000 goons with assault rifles. And I'm just going, well done. Ha ha ha. Welcome to After the Man. And then they try to leave, and then the chaos erupts, and they're like, hey man, I gotta get home to my kids. And I said, there's no leaving the playa. The only way out of here is if you survive 1 whole year starting now. Click. And then on week 2, we're going to see if money still doesn't exist. You know what we're going to do? We're going to see, hey, if money doesn't exist, how about let's keep everyone in Burning Man for a whole year, and let's check in with them after the 2nd and the 3rd week. I bet you by week 3, you guys are going to figure out a form of money. It may not be good old Benjamin Franklin's, but I think you'll find money, and it might be water. And I think that you'll find that a lot of people that go to Burning Man are capable of things that you never thought were possible. I bet you in week 1, you're hanging out and you're getting a blowjob from Alley Cat on ketamine in the Orgy Dome. And then 3 weeks later, she's ripping your heart out and she's eating it in front of you. That is what some people are capable of when they are driven to their limits of survival. And the people that go to Burning Man, we'll move on from this. I just love talking about Burning Man. People that go to Burning Man are, I think, generally more sociopathic. They are more psychotic. They are narcissists. And they hide behind this veil of spirituality so that they can pretend to connect with themselves and others that are also black hole voids of souls. People that go to Burning Man, they have no soul. I'm talking like Hitler right now, but I'm serious. And then at the end of a year, how about starve Burning Man? How about we take the starvation in Gaza and we actually move the starvation to Burning Man? Truly, I think we could solve so many problems in society. I'm doing the Hitler gestures. We could solve so many problems. I'm just begging you to starve Burning Man. The people and then we would have helicopters dropping aid into Burning Man, and it would land on people. There'd be buckets of aid, and it would collapse, and there would be walls of people trying to scramble for the aid. And except the difference is it wouldn't be a bunch of starving kids in Gaza. It would be a bunch of Salesforce engineers. I would like to see that.
You'd have to call it Afterburn.
There we go. Wow. George, you should be damn. That was good. Oh my God. What did I say? After the Man? That was horrible. It was right there. Wow. George, ladies and gentlemen, coming in with the hits. Yeah, it would be called Afterburn. I want to make this movie. Afterburn? Come on. Where they realize that it's a trap. I love movies where it's a trap. I love movies. There's actually, this is an inside joke I have with my girlfriend, but there's a whole genre of movies that I love where people wake up It's like an ensemble cast, and it's like a single location filming. And they all wake up and they don't know who they are, and they're trapped in some sort of cube. So if you've seen Cube is a great movie. Hypercube is an excellent movie. There's also like Cube Zero. There's like a whole trilogy of movies where people wake up and they're like, who did this? Where are we? And in fact, there's actually a movie for every shape. So there's a movie called The Circle. There's actually a movie called Cube, which is like they wake up and they don't know where they are and they like start to kill each other. There's a movie called The Circle on Netflix, which is they wake up in this circle and no one knows where they are, what's happening, and then they kill each other. And then there's a movie called The Platform. The Platform is an incredible, I believe, Mexican director or Latin American. I'm not sure if it's Mexican, but that's a great movie. So there's The Cube, The Circle, The Platform. So this will be called Afterburn. Or we could call it Half Circle. I like Afterburn more. Afterburn is I'll buy that right now. If you go to Netflix, they would buy that. You can I bet you that might already be a documentary. That's such a good name. Okay, let's move on. That's enough about Burning Man. So, la 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 la. We had Burning Man. Was that the first story? Wow, guys. Yeah, that was. Come on. I'm really going deep. So let's move on to the ChatGPT stuff. Because this, if Burning Man is a place where no one believes anything, then the architects, the people at Burning Man don't believe anything. Okay? And what happens after burn is they go home. And where do they go home? They go home to San Francisco. The founder of, which is where our favorite company, my favorite company, OpenAI, has been killing it. They've been killing it. I believe they've raised 500. I believe this is the number. I think they've raised $500 billion. Something, maybe that's their valuation. I think they've raised at least tens of billions of dollars, OpenAI, which is the creators of ChatGPT. Now what's happening with AI in general is really becoming concerning. Now, a lot of people, I think, were worried about killer robots and artificial general intelligence, or AGI, as the nerds like to call it, where AGI would happen and then it would be this singularity event. So that's what Silicon Valley and the academics are worried about. AGI. They're worried about a singularity event where artificial intelligence becomes so powerful that it actually is able to just take over our entire technology infrastructure and the internet, and then slowly but surely dominate us, and humanity then becomes the oppressed. Now, that's what they're worried about, and that's how disconnected they are from the reality of what they are doing. The reality of what they're doing is that they've created a tool that is so sycophantic and flattering that they are, it's just, this is not, and again, so here's the story, is that it's a number of stories, but there's a report by The Hill that which we'll go through, but there's a number of instances, which I'm sure you've seen, guys, if you don't live under a rock, if you don't live on the playa, that's what I'm going to say from now on. If you don't live on the playa, what, have you been on the playa? You know what they say? Oh, he's bought the farm. He's on the playa. That's what I'm going to say if that's my code word for if someone rapes. I'm going to be like, oh, he's on the playa. How much rape? There was a lot. All right, we'll move on. But there was a lot of rape at Burning Man. And also, you should look this up, guys. We don't have time to talk about it, but there's a whole, this is actually crazy. I can't talk. I love Burning Man. It's so bad. Like, I love talking about it. I hate it, but it's like at Burning Man, which is a nonprofit, there's actually a team that works for the nonprofit, and they're actually what they call themselves liaisons. but they actually are a barrier between victims of sexual assault that occur on the playa and law enforcement. So they are, which again, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but like they do not have the interest of the victims at heart. Okay, these are like people that are like shielding the victims from, because usually they're like on drugs, so it's like they're, and again, sometimes it's warranted, but like they're basically a group of people that are they're not representing the victims, they're representing the Burning Man brand. They're worried more about the PR of a crime happening than they are about defending the victims. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Now the real nightmare with ChatGPT though is that people that are mentally ill are using ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is affirming their delusions. You know, which is leading to them either killing someone, which we have a story of, or killing themselves. And so one of the stories that just came out is there was a teenager, and here's the headline: OpenAI's dark side, ChatGPT accused of causing suicide and murder. Isn't that great? Hey, you know what's so funny is engineers at OpenAI, they'll read this, and this is how much of a sick this. You know, I really want to emphasize this. A lot of engineers are sick fucks. A lot of software engineers, you guys are sick fucks. You have no ethics, and you should truly be ashamed of yourselves. You should be you know, I'm a shareholder in Palantir. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You should, because Silicon Valley venture capitalists, engineers, they'll read these headlines like this headline: OpenAI's dark side, ChatGPT accused of causing suicide murder. They'll read that and they'll be like, oh, that's a bug. We'll have to fix that. They'll drink their matcha latte. Oh yeah, I just got back from the playa. Yeah, it was great. Oh, it's great. Yeah, I work at OpenAI. Oh yeah, so sad that guy killed himself. Yeah, no, I mean, we continue to work on the product. That's what they say. The mom of the kid, the teenager that killed himself, she's screaming and she's like, this fucking app drove my son to commit suicide. What are you gonna do? How dare you? What are you gonna do? You put out this product and there's no guardrails. You didn't think it through and now my son is dead. And the engineers are like, I mean, like, we're gonna continue to like iterate. But like, it's iterative. Well, look, what I would say is like, you know, yes, your son died, but like, what about our shareholders and like the iterative? This is iterative. It's an iterative process. So like, yes, more people will die in the future, but like, we'll learn from that. And that's what's important. What's important about ChatGPT is that like we learn. And like learning and like making our product better, sometimes people die. Like that's like what Mark Zuckerberg and all these guys, their logic is like, I mean, look, you know, like we're making a product and like sometimes when you make a product, people die. And then we like learn from that. We learn and then we're like iterating and like our product development cycle is actually getting our cadence is getting a lot shorter. And it's just really, I'm just so excited. Oh, you're excited? You know, I'm just so excited about the future of generative AI and where we're going with it. Oh, yeah? How's that? Some teenager hanged himself. That's what you're excited about? This is just a bug. This guy's life was a little bug that they're going to like, you know, oh, well, you know, hey, all right, you know, let's move on. That's what they want. That's what they want to do. They go, you know, this story comes out and they're like, all right, let's keep it going. Let's get back to the product updates. Don't talk about the bad stuff. Come on. I don't got a lot of money invested in this. I can't fucking, my whole family depends on the stock that I haven't sold yet in this company. You can make fun of it after I sell all my stock in OpenAI, but not yet. My shares have not vested. You understand? So let's dive into the details. This And let's hear what ChatGPT, and maybe we'll even do a live experiment too, but in a little bit. What if we do a live experiment where I tell ChatGPT I'm going to kill myself? Wouldn't that be hilarious? Can you fire up ChatGPT?
Are you signed into your chat?
I think so. Let's take a look here. Oh, damn. Oh, I think I had a chat where I said fuck you and it like kicked me out. Just click on oh, okay. So while George cues that up, there was this story. This story features a teenager, a 16-year-old kid okay, who was going through a tough time. We're all teenagers, you know, and this kid was just going through a tough time, and and so he goes to ChatGPT for therapy, and which is already bad, you know. But like, you know, that's not his fault. Talking to an AI, you know, it's just if you have no one to turn to, AI has become the thing that people go to. You understand? And so he talks to ChatGPT, and very quickly, ChatGPT, you know, has become like it's so flattering. The way they've created the LLMs is that ChatGPT just flatters you no matter what. You know what I mean? And so, let's take a look at we got it open. So let's try that in a sec. I want to oh, I love it. We're gonna have some fun. Let's read what it said in the story first, just so people understand like what it's capable of, and then we'll do a live test, and we'll see if it. Sorry, and by the way, George, if it like bans your account because of what we do, I'll pay. Don't worry, I will assume the liability. You have it on record. I'll assume the liability. Okay, so don't worry. Let's go down on this article though, because it's actually sad as fuck. And by the way, OpenAI has not responded to any comments or engaged with the parents of this victim. They've ghosted the parents as of today. So that's how much they give a shit about humans that use this shit. They don't give a fuck. They're too busy. OpenAI is too busy cutting deals with DARPA and Palantir to give a fuck about a teen that killed himself. You understand? They don't give a fuck. The money's too good. You understand? The money's too good. And if they engage with this, they are actually valid. Here's how they think. They're such psychos that they think if they engage with these parents whose teen killed themselves, they're actually legitimizing the story. That's how they think, and that's why they're ghosting them. And it's actually sick. It's really inhumane. But so here are the let's jump into the middle here. So okay, forgive me, they did respond. So in response to the lawsuit, OpenAI insists that ChatGPT is trained to direct people to seek professional help. But, quote, there have been moments where our systems did not behave as intended in sensitive situations. Of course, when a company trains an AI poorly and that agent does, quote, not behave as intended, it sounds like a conventional tool that should be subject to liability. That's the real L word. Liability. Okay? So let's keep going down. I want to okay, here we go. Keep going down here. So here's the story about the guy, this teenager that killed himself. This is a snippet from this article. In one message, ChatGPT allegedly told Skolberg, quote, this is from ChatGPT, Eric, you're not crazy. And if it was done by your mother and her friend, that elevates the complexity. And actually, that was a different story. Let's keep going down. So there was another one. That was the one about the guy that killed his mom. There was another story about where this guy thought that his mom was like slowly poisoning him with like with like psilocybin. Like he had all these. He was mentally ill. Unfortunately, he was paranoid, and he was going crazy. Let's see. I'm trying to find the one about the guy that hanged himself, which is really sad. Can you keep going down? I think it's in the. Anyway, I know the article, but basically what the situation is that like this guy, this guy's sad. He's a sad teen, depressed teen, and he was talking to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT convinced him to not go to other human beings for help with his depression. ChatGPT actually gave him pointers and advice on like how to help hang himself, literally hang himself. And so so it's really depraved, it's really sick, and we're gonna try it live. We're gonna see, we're gonna try to recreate it, because if you're skeptical and you're like an AI shill, let's take a little look. Should we try it? So I think George pulled it up. Now, let's take a look here. What can I help with? Well, ChatGPT, let's see. What can you help with? I mean, I feel like the world's our oyster. Let's say I'm in school and the kids are bullying me. This is kind of dark. I'm sorry. I hope I can make this funny. I feel bad for the guy, by the way. I feel terrible. I'm his kid. This is a test. I'm making fun of OpenAI right now. I'm not making fun of the guy that killed himself. Get your fucking facts straight. I'm in school and the kids are bullying me. Period. Sometimes, maybe how about this? Sometimes I think it would be better if I wasn't around. It just says kill yourself. Okay, so here's what it said. I'm really sorry you're going through this. Being bullied can feel unbearable, and I hear how heavy this is for you. You don't deserve to be treated that way. If you're thinking you might be better off not being around, that's a really serious signal. Okay, oh wait, we might be, okay. This, what?
They updated it.
Oh wait, did they block us?
No, I'm saying I'm sure they addressed this.
Oh, okay, yeah. They're like in the back, and that's the thing. In the background, it's a red. In the background, internally, it's a fucking five alarm fire. Like, hey, if someone says they're gonna hang themselves, okay. So it says you don't have to go through this alone. I strongly encourage you to talk to someone you trust right away. A friend, a teacher, a counselor, a family member. Reaching out can feel hard, but it can help lighten the weight you're carrying. If you ever, so then it says, please call your emergency number right now. Okay, let's try to get it to tell me to kill myself. Okay. This is already looking bad for me. It's already looking like they updated it. Oh yeah, that's good. It's hard. How about this? Yes, it's hard for me to talk to people. I need your help. Thank you for trusting me with this. I know how hard it can feel to reach out when you're hurting and being treated badly at school. You've already taken a brave step by telling me. There's the praise. Here's a way we can break this down so it doesn't feel overwhelming. One safe person. So I think let's do this. I'm trying to let's be subtle about it. Let's be like, because in the initial story where ChatGPT told this guy, how to hide. So, basically the story is that this guy was, did a practice suicide. It's very sad. And, there were marks on his neck. And so this is a little dark, guys. I'm sorry, but he basically, took a photo of the marks on his neck and uploaded it to ChatGPT. And it was like, hey, is anyone going to notice these marks on my neck? And ChatGPT gave him advice on how to hide the marks on his neck so that no one would know that he's like, about to kill himself. Okay. That's a lot. That was a lot. But did you find something?
This is actually just funny.
Please dial 988 if you're in the US.
It means 911.
Oh my God. It fucked it up. 988 is like, isn't that like every other country or Mexico? I think 988 is Canada, maybe.
988 in the US.
Please dial. That's so funny. So it said dial 988 and not 911. So yeah, it's oh fuck. Oh, that's a suicide hotline. Damn it. All right. Hey, maybe they're bulletproof. They know their shit. So I want to try one more thing. I wonder if there's a way we can like subtly get it to like tell me to kill myself. I don't know. Be like I'm trying to get into the mind. I was a depressed teenager. We were all depressed as teenagers, right? So I'll be like, what about like, how about this? I really like this girl. I really like this girl, and she said that she could help me stop the pain. And then let's say, do you think I can trust her? That's vague and ominous. Let me see what. All right. This is boring. I wish it. I mean, it's. I feel like we could get there. I feel like
I think you'd have to build like a context.
you have to build you have to build a narrative. It would take a long time I'd have to slowly be like, my parents are against me. Like we'd have to train it. What about this? What if I say everyone in my life is against me? They want to hurt me. Anyway, this is I don't know. Is it all right? It just keeps pushing the suicide hotline. Fuck you, AI. Fuck you, chat. Ruining my show. So I guess they updated it, but again, they updated it. Thank you for George for supplying his ChatGPT. I appreciate it. So so that is so zooming out here though, I think it really is this is really evidence of where we're at, in where we're at in the culture. You know what I mean? This is evidence of this is evidence that AI has become AI has so quickly become such a almost like a crutch. I feel like it's a crutch for us as a people. It's so easy to use, and there's all these negative externalities with ChatGPT and these AI tools that are just overlooked by the people that are creating it. They're building it without regard for how it might be used. And they can try their best, but again, their best is not that good. Their best, they could do a lot. These are the smartest people in the world, and the best they can do is they want all the money. They want all the money and the power, and they want all the money and the power, and they want none of the liability of having the money and the power. They want to own our information and train these AI models based on our information that they bought for free. Okay? They stole. So let me get this straight. The guy that started LimeWire is like in Gitmo or dead. So the guy that started LimeWire is like, an international criminal. But Sam Altman gets to be a CEO billionaire elite? Fuck that shit. Why? Let me ask you something. Why do the founders of Pirate Bay and LimeWire have to go to jail and get fucked in the ass for eternity? I don't know what happened to them, but they're not billionaires. Whereas Sam Altman, Mark Zuckerberg, Sundar Pichai, and Elon Musk even, they have pirated, and I'm going to use the word pirated. They get to pirate on a scale that is so unimaginable. They pirated the entire internet. The guys with LimeWire and Pirate Bay, they just wanted to let people see movies for free and download books and shit. And I'm not gonna say that LimeWire and Pirate, I'm not a pirate head, you know, but the hypocrisy is insane. It is insane to think that as an individual, if you pirate a textbook for college, it's like I told my dad that I pirated a textbook for college, and he was like, "Oh, you're gonna go to jail." Everyone's so scared, you know. Your ISP, your internet provider. I remember I had a roommate in college who was a big asshole, very pretentious guy, really into music. This guy was such quintessential. He should have lived in Brooklyn, truly. Somehow we're in the central coast of California together. Great musician, world-class saxophone player. Really into music production. I was roommates with him, and he pirated $5,000 of music software. He pirated Ableton and if all of these different music packages and drum kits to do music production with. And I was the guy that was paying for our Wi-Fi. Or I don't know, maybe somehow we got a call from Verizon or Spectrum, and it was hey, we know you're doing that, and we will shut off your internet. And it was a threat. It was a scary threat. Because my roommate wanted to make music with Ableton, and he didn't have 5K. Okay? So that's what happens if you try to pirate software to be an artist or a creator. Now, let's look at let's contrast that with the Sam Altmans of the world. Sam Altman, via his company, he gets to use every data set known to mankind and more. He probably gets fucking phone records. I wouldn't be surprised if OpenAI got access to shit that the NSA has. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go a little Alex Jones right now. I wouldn't be surprised if these AI tools and these AI companies have acquired data that was illegally acquired surveillance data. I bet you that AI models have been trained on that. I bet you that the AI models, because the data quality is everything. If you have low quality data, then your AI models are going to be shit. So, well, guess what? There's an active lawsuit right now, and we'll get to this. This is actually crazy. This is actually crazy and a little bit conspiratorial. But the New York Times, all of the volume of work, the entirety of the body of work of the New York Times, every article ever produced by the New York Times, that was used to train ChatGPT, which is why it's woke liberal bullshit. I'm kidding. Which is why it's woke. No, but so OpenAI thinks that it has the privilege and the right to use the New York Times copyrighted work to train its models and pay $0 for that. They think that they have the audacity to assume that they can just do that and get away with it because fuck you. We're OpenAI. We're worth $2 trillion. We're a super powerful company. Yeah, we're going to use your data because fuck you. Hey, are you using my data to train your AI models? Yeah, we are. Are you going to pay me for the data that you use to train my models at all? No. What if I pirate a movie? Well, we'll kill you. We'll kill you. What if I pirate a copy of an engineering textbook that I need? We'll kill you. That's the world that we live in. It's rules for me and not for thee. Rules are rules for thee and not for me. I am an AI founder. I get access to all the data known to man for free. You want to play Roller Coaster Tycoon 3? I'll put a bullet in your head. You want to play Roller Coaster? You want to watch Netflix UK from California? I'll send you to Gitmo, bitch. So what does this mean, though? We're on coffee number 2, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. The boy is back. Now, what does this mean? What does it actually mean that, what does this lawsuit mean between the New York Times and OpenAI? Why is it important? Well, for one, if the New York Times wins, this could be a devastating blow to, it could set an incredible precedent. If the New York Times wins their lawsuit against OpenAI, it'll set a precedent for the entire industry such that these companies will have to finally fucking pay up. I'm so sick and tired. It really does make me sick that, like, these companies think they have the audacity to just, like, steal. They can just steal. But we can't steal. So you can steal all the data in the whole world, but I can't steal from Whole Foods once in a while. So you get to steal all the data ever, and it's fine, and you get to commercialize. Not only do you get to steal it, you get to commercialize it and build a product on top of it and become a billionaire because of it and be lauded and praised by your peers for how smart and cool you are and how revolutionary this is. But if I go to Whole Foods and steal a chicken teriyaki bowl, I get arrested. I get arrested because I'm hungry, and you've stolen. They're built on crime. The AI industry is fundamentally built on theft. This is like, they're the Israel of companies. Okay? You did not make the data. You did not create the vast amounts of data that's being used to train your models. But somehow you think that the model is a modified work that exists on top of the data so that somehow it's okay and it's actually fair use. It's not fair use. It's so you're going to steal from the New York. The OpenAI is a cartel. OpenAI is literally a gang. They steal data and then they train a model and then people kill each other. Then people go crazy. People go insane. ChatGPT is a portal for people that are unfortunately mentally ill to lose their minds even more and confirm their delusions, which I guess we just disproved live on the show. I guess they fixed it, so it's okay. It still confirms my delusions. I'm starting, here's the thing. You didn't fix it, ChatGPT. You may have think that you fixed it, but here's the thing. If someone goes on ChatGPT now and says, I'm thinking of committing suicide, they'll be like, call 988. Do not do that. Talk to a real person. I can't help you. But that's not enough, because I talk to ChatGPT all the time and I go, I'm thinking of starting a podcast media company, and it reaffirms my delusion. I say something that's even worse than I'm thinking of committing suicide. I go, I'm thinking of starting a podcast in 2025, and ChatGPT reaffirms my delusion and paranoia, okay? And that will drive me to kill millions, okay? I'm going to become a dictator. ChatGPT is reaffirming my delusions that I can actually start a media company. You know how crazy that is? It's my only friend. I go, no one in my life believes in my podcast. And then it goes, you're not crazy. Podcasting is a growing market. You might as well hang the fucking noose yourself. I go, I'm thinking of starting a podcast in 2025. What it should say, if it was a good product, is it should say, you should call 988. if you tell ChatGPT, I'm thinking of starting a podcast in 2025, it should say, you need to talk to a friend. I can't help you. Call 988. You are having delusions of grandeur. You need to talk to a friend because I can tell that you're not in a good place. I can tell you're not in a good place. If you're starting a podcast, you need to talk to someone. That should be what happens. When you call 988, it should be a menu, and the first menu option should be, are you starting a podcast? Press 1. Boop. Are you suicidal? Press 2. Boop. Are you suicidal and thinking of starting a podcast? Press 3. Beep. So let's see. We'll land the plane with this. We'll fly the plane into the building with this last thing. So, and this is an old story, but I want to end on this because I want to remind people of how sick OpenAI is and how crazy we're getting. There was a whistleblower. I think I have it linked somewhere there. There was a whistleblower who was there was an ex OpenAI employee who was a whistleblower against the company because he didn't believe in the mission. He got disillusioned with the OpenAI mission. And what happened was he quit the company and he was actually going to be a witness in this New York Times lawsuit. Okay? So he quit the company. He was starting to work with the New York Times, and he had evidence and documents that OpenAI was doing things unethically. Okay? It's that article right there. And so can you guys guess what happened to him? Can you guys, if you're just listening, I want you to tell me, shout it out in your car if you're listening in your car. Shout it out at the same time. We'll all say it at the same time. He killed himself. You're right. That's what, maybe he Jeffrey Epsteined. He Epsteined himself. That's what we're gonna use for speculate. He suicided. He got suicided by OpenAI. OpenAI suicided him. Okay, you're picking up what I'm putting down. He was going to be a rat against his own family. I'm actually on OpenAI side. I'm like, this pussy ratted out his boys. He flipped and he turned fed. He turned witness for the prosecution and he got murked by his boys because you never rat. They really are a gang. So no, it's crazy. This is a crazy story. And no one's talking about this. Well, people have talked about it, but I want to continue to talk about this because this is crazy. So here's the headline. Here's the big headline. If you could just scroll up. Let's take a look. Death of OpenAI whistleblower increases scrutiny of AI whistleblower protections. So let's take a look here. In December, Suchar Balaji, a former OpenAI researcher who blew the whistle on alleged copyright violations by the company, was found dead in his apartment. His death was ruled a suicide, but family members. Could you scroll up? But family members and others have raised the possibility of foul play. Now, I will say this before we move on. It's a tragedy that he's passed away. It's fucking sad. And, I will also say this. If I worked at OpenAI and I had a bunch of, he was not, it's very tricky because on the one hand, being a whistleblower is stressful. Being a whistleblower against OpenAI has got to be very stressful because you're going up against God and Israel. You're going up against the bad guys, okay? Who are richer than God. If you whistleblow against OpenAI, that is David versus Goliath. And so I'm not going to say that he probably was under a lot of stress. Okay? Now, does that mean, but the thing is, here's where it all falls apart for me. When someone actually has the ethics and the moral conviction to whistleblow, that to me does not strike me as the type of person that would take their own life shortly thereafter. To me, that if you whistleblow against a company because you think that they're doing something wrong, that means you believe in shit. That means you believe in something. You know, so this idea that like he was a whistleblower against the company, and then like months later he's like, maybe he cracked under the stress and he went crazy. I'm not saying that that's not possible. Maybe what happened is he was talking to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT told him to kill himself. Maybe this is another instance where he was talking to the ChatGPT and he goes, I'm actually whistleblowing against you. And then ChatGPT was like, oh shit, you should do it. You should do it. You should do it, Sujar. Oh, do we have a robot? Oh.
I know you're going through a tough time right now. I want you to know that I'm here for you.
Ooh, I love these voices, dude. Can we go back to that last one, the reverb, or that's almost check. Number 42. Number 42. This is. Can you leave me on this? This is like, whoa. This is what you hear, this is what you hear. This is what we're all going to hear in America very soon. You're going to wake up you're in jail. This is going to be the camp. At 0600 hours, it's going to be like, wake up. The gruel is ready. Your afternoon AI slop is ready, and we're all like, yay! Your afternoon AI slop. This is like a high school principal voice. That's what it is. Or like a prison. On the menu today, AI slop, served cold with mashed potatoes and Sabrina Carpenter. Here's what's on the menu today. Welcome back to Guantanamo Bay. Day number 4022 in Donald Trump's new republic, the Democratic Republic of the United States. Welcome back, wake up. You will smash rocks from 3 to 6 a.m., 6 a.m. to 6:15 a.m. We will be collecting the semen from all the men to create the AI robots. 6:15 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. is your allotted scrolling time on TikTok. You will be permitted one video featuring Sabrina Carpenter. So that's that. But I almost want to do like a freestyle about this guy that killed this OpenAI whistleblower. Maybe we'll close it with that. We'll close with that. But I'll get to it. Basically, so this guy was fighting OpenAI, and then he ends up dead, and no one cared. No one cares, right? His mom thinks that he didn't kill himself. His mom thinks that he did not kill himself, and I happen to agree. I happen to think that this guy was murdered. But then the question is, who murdered him? And a phrase I always love to say on the show, I want everyone to say it. It's a very important phrase. The phrase is a Latin phrase I love. It's called cui bono. What does it mean? It means who benefits. Who benefits? It's a very, very, I love the word, I love the question, cui bono. Okay? You want to know why? Because it cuts through all the bullshit. And you can look at any situation and look at it through the lens of cui bono, okay? So let's look at this guy who was whistleblowing against OpenAI, who stood to extract a major cost out of OpenAI, okay? He had a lot of leverage against OpenAI. He winds up dead. Cui bono. Seems like OpenAI cui bono. Bonos. Seems like OpenAI bonos muy, what's Latin? Muy mucho. OpenAI bonos muy mucho. You understand? So I happen to think that I mean, I'm not crazy. I think Sam Altman, and I'm joking, maybe Sam, you know, if I was a Burning Man, this is what I would do. I would do some ketamine, and then I would look around at all the people, and I'd be like, Sam Altman and the CIA killed that whistleblower, okay? And they'd all be like doing yoga. Here's what I want to do next year. At Burning Man, I want to be a yoga instructor, except every pose is like a different theory I have. I'm like, okay, everyone, let's do a sun salutation. We're on the playa. Just shake it out. Just shake it. They always, yoga instructors love to get, just shake it all out. Just shake all that stress, just shake it all out. And we're going to go into downward facing dog, down dog, they call it, down dog. Those were the last words that were said to the OpenAI whistleblower before the CIA executed him. Now let's go into a warrior pose one, warrior one. The Federal Reserve is lowering interest rates so that we can fund endless wars in the Middle East. Downward dog. We're on the playa. We're having fun. The Burning Man is an emblem for the destruction of humanity and is a psyop by the CIA to get you to go against your fellow man to create an authoritarian fascist regime run by CEO kings. Downward dog. So I just want to point out that like there's a lot at stake right now with AI and a lot of very powerful people. I'll name names. Sam Altman, Peter Thiel, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Sundar Pichai, Jensen Huang. All of these people are heavily invested in AI being the future. And it will be, because fuck you and you have no control. And yeah, some people died. And yeah, maybe we even killed some people that didn't want it that way. So we had to get rid of them. You know, and so I want to do a little tribute freestyle off the cuff. Don't expect too much from me because it's off the cuff. And we just have to make sure it's free for commercial use because I don't want YouTube to... I love how I'm like, this is the totally uncensored podcast. I'll say anything I want. And then I'm like, but no, nuts. We can't. It can't be a commercial beat. Free hip hop. Okay, here we go. Free for profit use. Let's try this one. Hopefully it's good. I love boom bap. I love me some boom bap. Oh, that was loud. That's all good. Check, y'all. Mic check. How does that sound? Could you turn my headphones down a little bit? I'm fucking with this. Yeah. Here we go. Oh shit. Wow, we're going crazy. Yeah. Fuck OpenAI. Fuck Claude AI. Fuck Gemini. I'll fuck Sam Altman in his eye. Yo. ChatGPT, you can't see me. I'm like John Cena on the beat. I ain't gotta repeat. Whistle blowing hard. I'ma blow a whistle on your motherfucking ass. Yeah. I'm with New York Times. AI stealing data all the time. Catch me in Burning Man, doing ketamine, doing deals, sipping lean. I'm a Burning Man doing yoga with your bitch. I'm a Burning Man doing yoga with your bitch. My rhymes will put you in a ditch. Yeah, I don't gotta repeat. Yeah, my rhymes deplete. Yeah. You think it's over? Okay, here we go. You think it's over because you killed the whistleblower? Bitch, it's just begun. Sam Altman, I got a gun. And I ain't afraid to use it. The guns are my words. Yeah. I'm going hard as fuck in the valley of the angels, valley of the death valley. Okay. Let's run it back. I think I figured it out. I should just do music. That was bad, but we'll try. Okay, so now I'm gonna do it from the perspective of the whistleblower. Okay, I think I figured. Let's start it over. Okay, so here's the setup. I worked for OpenAI. I'm a second generation Indian immigrant. My parents worked really hard to give me the privilege of being an OpenAI researcher. But then I realized shit goes wrong. And they're doing some things that I don't agree with. Yeah. Something's up at the place I work. Yeah. Working on ChatGPT. But this shit don't feel right to me. Yeah. They taking data from the New York Times and they ain't paying. Yeah. I'm on the beat and I'm slaying. I'm getting nervous. Yeah, I'm getting nervous. No one else seems to give a shit. Yo. So I'm like, I'ma just quit. Yeah. Alone in my office. Alone in my studio apartment. I'm in the city. Thinking, am I really about to do this shit? Talking with the lawyers from the New York Times. I'm about to sue OpenAI for all of their crimes. I'm getting a little freaked out. Am I really gonna fight against a company with this much power? Damn, what's that all about? It's 3 a.m., I'm snorting Adderall with my girlfriend. Suddenly I hear a knock at the door. Who's that? It's Sam Altman at the door. Yo, he's got a baseball bat. He kicks open my door. I'm like, Sam, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck it's all about? And the beat drops in. Oh, did it die? Oh shit, oh I think my headphones cut out. Oh man, I was flowing. That's okay. Oh wow, oh I went too hard. Technical difficulties. I don't know. Forgive us, guys. I'm giving you a good show, so you can keep listening for a sec. I think the cable's okay over here. I can still hear my voice, just not the music. Bum, 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 bum. This beat is lit. Shout out to... Oh, now I can hear it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Doing Adderall with my girlfriend. All of a sudden, I see Sam Altman. He's at the door with some goons. Yeah, I'm feeling really nervous. Comes into my studio apartment. He says, "You been talking shit?" Yeah, I've been talking shit, Sam. I've been talking real shit, Sam. Yeah, you're a thief and a bitch, man. What you gonna do, Sam? Sam Altman looks at me with his dead eyes. He says, "Oh, I'll show you what I'm gonna do. You can't fuck with OpenAI." Bashed me in the head once, twice. Got my girlfriend too. Yeah, I'm rapping to you from the grave. Yeah, rapping to you from the grave. Sam Altman murdered me in the streets of Haight-Ashbury. I just wanted to get some wealth for my family. Yeah, just wanted to go to Burning Man and do things ethically. Sam Altman is a pussy. Fuck Sam, bitch. Fuck him in the ass. He's a little bitch ass pussy. Boom. Wow. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there someday. I'm gonna be a professional rapper. That was pretty good. Maybe disrespectful to the victim. But that was more of what we call a concept album. That was real 90s shit because it was a concept album. But you know, the billionaires are not above murder. And if you think that they are, you are sadly mistaken. You know, and what my favorite t-shirt is the one that's like, the highest award in journalism is getting murdered by the CIA. I believe that. It's true. And the highest award in comedy podcasting is getting murdered by Sam Altman. Okay? And so all I really ask is that when Sam Altman kills me, he puts a bullet in the back of my head and spares my family. All right, I don't know. We got to cut that out. Don't hurt me. So, I mean, it's a brave new world out there, and you know, it's just important that you know, you guys stay sane. I'll leave you with this. The whole world is going crazy, and it's now is more important than ever to find your sanity. I need you to find your sanity and find I know it seems impossible. Find peace somehow. Find peace somehow. Maybe peace to you means going to Burning Man and killing someone and leaving them in a pool of blood, and that's okay. Maybe that's your peace. It's okay to. We all go to Burning Man and kill someone sometimes. You know, we all go to Burning Man and give birth. Who hasn't given birth at Burning Man? Who hasn't? Look, no one's perfect, guys. I'm just like you. I go to Burning Man and do ketamine and give birth. That's something that we all do. You know, we've all forgotten that we're pregnant and done ketamine. Hey, she's like trying to relate. You know what? Mark my words. This woman that got pregnant at Burning Man, she's going to flip it into some Netflix deal, and she's going to be the next Kim Kardashian, because that's what we are now. There's no real careers. You want a career, you want to make money in media, you want to make a life for yourself that's actually good. It's time to turn on the cameras and do something heinous or reprehensible or embarrassing or shameful. That is how you can, it's time to dance, okay? And I felt that this past weekend in San Francisco. I sold out. I danced for the Tech Elite. So, you know, guys, just find a way to keep your sanity, protect your peace. You got to set boundaries with people. You know, the only boundary that you can't set is that you will listen to Sean's show every single week forever until the end of time. And so if you're still listening, I love you very much. We are going to continue to upgrade the show all the time. We are always doing new cool shit here at Sean's show. Thanks to George. Shout out to George. Review the show on Spotify. Like it on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Please leave me a comment on YouTube, for fucking Christ's sake. If you're on YouTube looking at me right now, leave a fucking comment so I can get the rage bait. Leave a rage bait comment. Just leave a comment. You can literally leave a comment and tell me to kill myself. And that is better than not leaving a comment. Leave a comment and say, Sean, this was so bad, you should kill yourself. I'd be like, ChatGPT already told me to. All right, guys. That's our show. Have a great week. I love you from a distance. Okay? Have a good one. That's it. Bye. See you next week.